There's no bigger turnoff than a man needy for sex. How do we solve that to get the girl be the one begging?
The hungry never get fed. By definition, you only have two options: have more sex or need sex less. Need sex less breaks down into 3 steps. Kill your physical dependency, do things for their own sake, be both inside the room and outside it, which will lead to her being the one begging as your neediness be gone from your newfound ability to enjoy higher satisfaction and to recognize yourself as already whole.
Wait, wasn't there the option of just more sex?
Whole. Have more sex or need sex less. Just have more sex is like saying just have more money to not need money. Obvious and unhelpful for when single, when coupled, when starting to seduce a specific person. It kind of works, and is one of the weirdest anecdotes I know of eventually successful relationships, where the guy was able to take it slow because he was actually having sex on the side. Hopefully you understand the risks in trying this, but hey, it works. Alright, so needing sex less from the specific person will, in the long run, lead to hella good sex with that specific person. Let's remember that when looking at option 2, need sex less. You could
Chemically castrate yourself. A skit from Dr. House. Inadvisable. Excessively masturbate. Ish. A popular choice. I'm looking at you. But you'll just reinforce your habit of spurting, your neediness. And if the neediness doesn't transfer to the real person, it is only because you've completely detached your arousal from actual people. Do I need to go into why that is bad? I think Larry Wheels recently came out talking about his struggles with this. Big man. I also know of a relationship that started out long distance. The guy tried to tame himself by loads of spurting. When they were finally back in the same country, he was so impatient and needy that he literally pushed the girl away. Both heartbroken, they never solved it. The neediness came out as aggression, so maybe good that they didn't.
Then what are you left with? Genuinely not needing sex. You can want, you can crave, you can desire, but you don't need. This is not a pitch of celibacy, far from it. More bringing sex to all existence. Exchange energies not only through the physical rubbing. Practice holding increasing loads of energy within you without the need to spurt it out. Then traverse life making love with the world. Not the quick and dirty loving, but a higher version. Pour that sweet ambrosia over everyone. Need sex less breaks down into 3 steps. Kill your physical dependency. We will learn to circulate the energy instead of just spurting it out, so that the abstinence finally leads to something more than just frustration. Do things for their own sake. Take this newfound energy and use it on meaningful pursuits where the action itself is the reward. Be both inside the room and outside it. Always remember you're whole, infinite, so you can play freely without attachment. Navigate her with skill until she begs for it. In this video, I can only give generic advice. If you want help with custom implementation, click the link below to work with me one-on-one. You might object that this isn't the only way. And indeed, sometimes a don't care dude who is demeaning can get girls. But I don't agree with those values. Plenty of videos like that out there. My best experiences were doing things for their own sake. And when the girl climbs in my lap, drill through to ecstasy. Help put up curtains, and then she stops you from leaving when the work is done. Spend a lovely evening listening to music, and she stops you from going to sleep. Act my best, needing nothing in return, enjoying the activity on its own. Let her observe you, daydream, and then initiate on the craving, making her want it even more. The first day I was writing these notes, just me meditating on the concepts, already led to that night and the next morning being very in theme. Pleasurable, opening, without doing much else than act as I wrote.
You've tried abstinence before, but we're so used to the constant titillation that it simply led to unbearable irritation in your sexual organs.
That is why we will reduce it to the 2 essentials, both of which can be trained with progressive overload. Build pelvic strength and stop spurting as a strength exercise. Instead of cutting things, your task will simply be to tense harder than last time. Easy. Pelvic floor curls, to strengthen the literal muscles that'll help control the urges and move energy. Tense the muscles of your genitals, perineum, and anus. Like trying to stop peeing, holding in a shit, and the muscle between, with a feeling of an upward pull. For females, I've heard it described as trying to suck an egg upward. Do 2 variations, both while continuing to breathe normally. Holding the contraction for as long as you can, and repeated contraction and release. Do this while masturbating or having sex, when you feel the buildup of energy down there, but still long before orgasm. Do this throughout the day. No one needs to know that in line at the grocery shop, you're exercising. A little bonus for when your energy gets stuck in your lower regions and you need help moving it along, instead of using that as an excuse to stop. Headstand. Diverts the blood, also gets compliments at the gym for some reason. There are easier reductions: candle posture, shoulder stand, if the headstand is a bit much to begin with.
Orbital breathing. To learn to feel and move the energy within you, and so you don't suffocate while doing the other exercises. Breathing and body awareness is important. Inhale down the front from the top of your ribs to the bottom of the ribs, to the belly, to your pelvic region and tailbone. Then exhale up your spine, from the tailbone up to the top of your head. Later add pelvic contractions on the exhale to force the breath up the spine. All these exercises are best learned by making them quite muscular at first. In time, with practice, they will become effortless as you find your own style. For me, it is sometimes feeling the breath circulate in my legs instead, helps me release tension. And breathing circles in my partner's body during sex, a lovely experience. With practice, this will become a method to help in the later task of not spurting, as breathing up your spine and contracting your pelvic floor just before your orgasm can lead to it shooting up your spine rather than being released out your genitals.
Abstinence. You have to rid yourself of the perversely excessive. It'll always lead to ruin. There's loads of nofap content, so I'll focus on an angle I haven't seen much covered. Only stop finishing, and achieve it as a strength exercise with progressive overload of tensing harder than last time. Our goal here is to not spurt out the energy. Do what you want, how you want, but don't finish. Try out the orbital breathing and pelvic floor contractions. Observe the feeling of the energy within you and its remaining there. If you notice the visual stimulus distracting you from your breath and body, look away and bring attention to the sensations in you. Perversely excessive is what we are trying to rid of here. You can go about not spurting in two ways. Simply avoid it, or use pelvic strength and orbital breathing to direct orgasm up instead of leaking it all out. One practice for this, from David Data, when about to finish, inhale energy up the spine, reverse the usual, while simultaneously contracting and pulling in your pelvic floor, belly, and solar plexus. Your belly and solar plexus move in toward the spine as you inhale, then lift up toward the head. Belly and solar plexus not merely harden and tense, but are made hollow, pulling inward and scooping upward during the contraction. Actions for own sake. Too much of your actions are done for some external reward. Too often that reward you want is sex, directly or indirectly. Think looks, money, status, or how you organize your Tinder dates, or you spending time on Tinder altogether. Girls might enjoy it as an activity, but you definitely don't, or at least shouldn't. Going up to a girl and telling her she's pretty, that's enjoyable on its own. A shared smile just charges me right up. Even in this video, I use sex to tease you along, though I'm trying to use that attention for good. When you do things for external rewards, you're in that needy state from the get-go. When you do things you enjoy for having done them, you are whole. Regardless of outcome, you'll be content, patient, and have this aura of plenty that cannot be disturbed. But only as long as you find what really interests you from the bottom of your heart. And only while you never content yourself with average achievements. Always aim at perfection. When absorbed in work like this, you no longer have to worry about diverting your thoughts, because all of you is completely invested. I'm still sometimes guilty of not following this advice, and can notice myself off balance then. That I get upset because things aren't happening as I expected them to. I was attached to an outcome. So I will practice this step with you. You can share your tips, and I will share if I find some practical solution to achieving this consistently. We're done with the practical steps. If you want help with custom implementation of the concepts I cover in my videos, click the link below. Be a good gardener and all that. I'll stay here and contemplate becoming a mystic, a shaman for a bit. I am consciousness and you are mine, my bright bitch. I want to be Shiva, life-embracing, agori, beyond fear, accepting life whole, not just the ordinarily beautiful bits. If I've so decided, then I take her all. A monster to others, but I will embrace. Be present, be open, and tease her apart. I am light. Take me if you dare. Achieve this by being both inside the room and outside it at the same time. What does this mean? This phrase comes from David Data's book Mykonos. Inside the room is this life, with its bodies and urges and problems and adventures. Outside the room is the infinite consciousness, within which everything is held, where nothing that happens can actually taint or disturb the peace there, not hunger or pain or even death. My advice to you, my friend, is to dance with the ladies. Love them completely, but never forget that you're also outside the room, right now. That's what women want from you anyway. They want to feel you inside the room, totally with them, and yet absolutely free and unafraid of life. They want to feel you freely awakened outside the room, even while you are pressing your flesh body against theirs. When writing this video, I stumbled upon a different book, which describes a similar phenomenon, Sexual Energy and Yoga by Elizabeth H. The first and lowest tarot card represents the human beings who are still dead, unconscious in spirit, and who lead a purely physical existence, inside the room. The last, highest tarot card, the great self, sexless because it unites the two poles in its consciousness, makes the physical being dance on its hand as an agent of manifestation, in accordance with his role in the earthly world, outside the room, while still having the bodily counterpart dance with the ladies inside the room. Have fun, play the childlike games with ever-changing rules, know when to follow them, when to introduce new ones, when to break some, navigate her with skill until she begs for it. I don't agree with Homath when he says not to waste time on women who can't communicate clear and direct interest in sex, because it is never worth the risk of essay. The games are the whole point. If you want direct transactional sex, go to the red light district. If you want the magic of polar interaction between sexes, play the games. Every moment is either a test or a celebration. Always continue in being open. That is a test of your navigation, whether you can be trusted. Feel into her deeply, communicating your fully present love through gaze, touch, and words first, communing with her heart in sweet merger until she begs for sexual contact. That is it for me today. Thank you for joining me. Be a good gardener. Below you can find my free Good Gardener guide where I've structured to-do lists and schedules for this video and others. You can also work with me one-on-one as I tutor you through custom implementation. Peace.